That's if you want to. You gotta have the encouragement. You gotta have the willpower to get back up. A lot of times I've been there.
Matthew Saad Muhammad survived being left in a Philadelphia nursery as a baby and grew up to become one of boxing's most thrilling champions. The light heavyweight warrior won fights he had no business winning, climbing off the canvas repeatedly to knock out opponents who thought they had him finished. But sources claim Saad Muhammad kept a private journal where he listed 10 fighters who inspired his never-say-die style, and some of these names shocked people who knew him. Reportedly, the list was discovered after his death in 2014, tucked inside his old training bag. One former sparring partner said the journal pages were worn from constant reading. Saad Muhammad studied these fighters obsessively, watching their tapes before every major bout. He allegedly told his trainer, "These men showed me how to turn pain into power." His picks ranged from obvious legends to unexpected choices that revealed the complexity behind his warrior mentality. This countdown exposes the champions who shaped boxing's most courageous heart. 10. Emil Griffith. Matthew Saad Muhammad allegedly kept newspaper clippings of Emil Griffith's comeback victories stuffed in his gym locker. Griffith was a welterweight and middleweight champion who survived the tragic Benny Paret fight and kept winning despite emotional trauma. Sources claim Saad Muhammad related deeply to Griffith's ability to overcome personal demons and public scrutiny. Both fighters faced identity struggles and found salvation inside the ropes. Griffith's courage in the ring mirrored Saad Muhammad's own style of absorbing punishment before delivering it back. Reportedly, Saad Muhammad watched Griffith's trilogy with Luis Rodriguez obsessively, studying how Griffith adjusted between fights. Friends said he admired how Griffith reinvented himself after personal tragedy. What impressed Saad Muhammad most was Griffith's longevity and ability to win titles in 2 weight classes. He allegedly said, "Emil proved you could be hurt badly and still come back stronger." That philosophy defined Saad Muhammad's entire career of miraculous comebacks. 9. Carlos Monzon. Carlos Monzon's inclusion on Matthew Saad Muhammad's list surprised many people. Monzon was a cold, calculating middleweight champion who rarely took risks. Saad Muhammad was a wild brawler who threw caution away. But sources claim Saad Muhammad studied Monzon's discipline obsessively, trying to balance his own reckless courage with smarter tactics. Reportedly, Saad Muhammad's trainer showed him Monzon fights after particularly brutal wars, pointing out how the Argentine champion preserved himself. Monzon defended his middleweight title 14 times, something Saad Muhammad desperately wanted to match. Friends claim Saad Muhammad admired Monzon's unbeaten streak and professional approach to the sport. The behind-the-scenes story involves Saad Muhammad attempting to adopt Monzon's tight defense in training, but abandoning it once the bell rang. His corner reportedly joked, "You love Monzon, but fight like his opposite." Still, Monzon represented what Saad Muhammad knew he needed: control and championship intelligence beyond just heart. 8. Bob Foster. Bob Foster was the light heavyweight king who defended his title 14 times and carried devastating knockout power in both hands. Matthew Saad Muhammad allegedly watched Foster's old fights religiously, mesmerized by the way Foster could end fights with single punches. Sources claim Saad Muhammad tried copying Foster's jab and right-hand combination for months in the gym. Foster stood 6'3" with incredible reach, completely different from Saad Muhammad's compact 5'11" frame. But both men shared an ability to find knockouts when hurt or losing on scorecards. Friends said Saad Muhammad respected Foster's professionalism and business approach to boxing. The connection ran deeper than just style. Foster came from Albuquerque and faced discrimination throughout his career, similar to obstacles Saad Muhammad encountered growing up in Philadelphia's foster system. Both men used boxing as their escape from difficult circumstances. Foster showed Saad Muhammad that light heavyweights could be special, that their division deserved respect and attention. 7. Archie Moore. Archie Moore fought until he was nearly 50 years old and recorded more knockouts than any fighter in history. Matthew Saad Muhammad allegedly called Moore the grandfather of light heavyweight boxing and studied his defensive tricks obsessively. Sources claim Saad Muhammad watched Moore's fights with Rocky Marciano and Floyd Patterson repeatedly, amazed at how the old warrior stayed competitive. Moore's longevity fascinated Saad Muhammad, who wondered if he could fight into his 40s like the old mongoose. Reportedly, Saad Muhammad tried learning Moore's famous cross-arm defense, but his trainer insisted it didn't fit his aggressive style. What really connected them was Moore's ability to win fights through pure ring intelligence. Moore fought over 200 professional bouts and learned every trick imaginable. He showed Saad Muhammad that boxing IQ could overcome physical decline. The old mongoose proved that experience and wisdom mattered as much as youth and strength throughout a championship career. 6. Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran and Matthew Saad Muhammad were cut from the same violent cloth. Sources claim they sparred together in Philadelphia gyms during the early 1980s, and both men walked away with black eyes and enormous respect. Duran's "no Maz" controversy actually increased Saad Muhammad's admiration because the Panamanian came back and proved his heart repeatedly afterward. Reportedly, Saad Muhammad told friends, "Duran fights like he's got demons chasing him." That understanding came from personal experience. Both fighters used violence as therapy for childhood trauma. Duran grew up in Panama's slums, while Saad Muhammad survived Philadelphia's foster care system. What impressed Saad Muhammad most was Duran's versatility across 4 weight divisions. Duran could box beautifully or brawl savagely depending on what the fight required. Friends claim Saad Muhammad studied Duran's transition from lightweight to middleweight, hoping to move up to cruiserweight himself. Duran showed that warriors could also be smart fighters. 5. Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler trained in the same Philadelphia gyms as Matthew Saad Muhammad during their championship years. Sources claim they developed mutual respect based on shared struggles and southpaw difficulties. Both fighters felt robbed by judges early in their careers and carried that anger into the ring. Hagler allegedly told Saad Muhammad, "Make them stop you, never trust the scorecards." That advice shaped Saad Muhammad's come-from-behind style. He fought like every round was his last because he didn't trust judges to give him close decisions. Reportedly, Hagler attended several of Saad Muhammad's title defenses and offered technical advice afterward. The behind-the-scenes bond went deeper than boxing. Both men felt disrespected by the boxing establishment and media. Hagler destroyed opponents in the middleweight division, while Saad Muhammad did the same at light heavyweight. They allegedly discussed forming a fighters' union together. Hagler showed Saad Muhammad that dominance required obsessive dedication and training discipline. 4. Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was Matthew Saad Muhammad's Philadelphia boxing godfather. Sources claim Frazier took the young fighter under his wing and let him train at his famous North Philadelphia gym for free. Frazier's relentless pressure style and left hook influenced everything about Saad Muhammad's approach. Reportedly, Frazier told him, "Pain is temporary, pride is forever," before major fights. That mentality defined both warriors. Frazier absorbed tremendous punishment against Muhammad Ali but kept marching forward. Saad Muhammad did the same against opponents who hurt him badly. Friends said Frazier attended Saad Muhammad's title win over Marvin Johnson and cried tears of joy afterward. What Saad Muhammad loved most was Frazier's authenticity. Smokin' Joe never pretended to be something he wasn't, just a tough Philadelphia fighter who worked harder than everyone else. Frazier showed that you didn't need fancy footwork to become champion, just heart and an incredible left hook. 3. Marvin Johnson. Marvin Johnson appearing third on Matthew Saad Muhammad's favorite list shocks people until they understand the story. Johnson and Saad Muhammad fought 3 brutal wars for the light heavyweight championship. Johnson won their first fight convincingly, then Saad Muhammad knocked him out in the rematch to win the title. Sources claim their rivalry was respectful and even affectionate despite the violence. Reportedly, they spoke on the phone weekly during their championship years, comparing training methods and warning each other about upcoming opponents. Johnson allegedly called Saad Muhammad before their third fight and said, "Let's give them something to remember." They delivered a savage battle that Saad Muhammad won by knockout. The bond deepened after retirement. Both men struggled financially and with health issues from their wars. Johnson became one of Saad Muhammad's closest friends until Johnson's death in 1987. Saad Muhammad reportedly kept Johnson's fight gloves and visited his grave regularly. Their trilogy defined light heavyweight boxing history. 2. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali inspired Matthew Saad. Muhammad's name change and entire boxing philosophy. Sources claim the young fighter born Maxwell Antonio Loach watched Ali's fights obsessively and adopted a Muslim name to honor his hero. Ali represented everything Saad Muhammad wanted to be: famous, confident, and fearless. Reportedly, Saad Muhammad wrote Ali letters asking for advice but never received responses. That didn't diminish his worship. Ali's comeback victories over George Foreman and Joe Frazier showed Saad Muhammad that impossible situations could be overcome through courage. Friends said Saad Muhammad studied Ali's rope-a-dope strategy and tried using it against heavy punchers. The real influence went beyond tactics. Ali taught Saad Muhammad that boxing could transform your life completely. A poor kid from difficult circumstances could become world champion. Ali's refusal to surrender showed Saad Muhammad the power of personal conviction and belief in yourself. 1. Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson topped Matthew Saad Muhammad's list, and this choice revealed the fighter he dreamed of becoming. Robinson possessed everything: power, speed, defense, ring intelligence, and championship resilience. Sources claim Saad Muhammad watched Robinson's old films daily, studying the welterweight and middleweight legends' footwork and combination punching. Reportedly, he told his trainer, "If I could fight like Ray for just one round, I'd retire happy." Robinson's ability to look beautiful while destroying opponents fascinated Saad Muhammad. The Sugar Man made violence look artistic, turning brutal knockouts into ballet performances. Saad Muhammad's style was the complete opposite: rough, desperate, and survival-based. What elevated Robinson to number one was his championship longevity and comeback abilities. Robinson won his middleweight title 5 separate times, constantly reinventing himself after defeats. That resilience spoke directly to Saad Muhammad's soul. Robinson showed that true champions never quit, that setbacks were just preparation for greater triumphs. Which Matthew Saad Muhammad pick surprised you most? Should Marvin Johnson have ranked higher after their legendary trilogy? Drop your opinions in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives into boxing's forgotten warriors and their inspirations.